Jimmy Jam. Jim Jam. Put your pajamas on. Put your put your pajamas on. It's time for Jimmy James and the Blue Flames, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Jimmy Jam and Little Richard Spam with a little bit of jam and no flim flam. Not Kiwa Kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the man from space, the madman of Borneo, Mr. Jimi Hendrix and his experience. Yeah. How you doing? One thing you, Aaron, for that kind introduction. I worked my whole life to get here. And Jimi Hendrix experienced it. Yeah. Gemma. Gemma. They had a slice for Jimmy. They had a slice for him. Like there was a definite slice for Jimi Hendrix. They had him in, they couldn't market him in America, so they sent him to England. He was on the Chitlin circuit with Little Richard and playing his Dan Electro, little gay boy probably, along with little Richard Penniman's traveling troupe of carnival of gay black dudes, which is what it was. And Chaz Chandler, I forget how, but Chaz Chandler got a hold of the Madman of Borneo, and he's like, "Look, we can market you because you got that new Stratocaster, and it's got that tremolo, and we just introduced these Jim Marshall amps. You can go at 100 watts and be the man from space. How about we melt some brains?" She was like, "All right, yeah." Look out. And they gave him his first Stratocaster. It's way better than the Dan Electro. And before you know it, Jimi Hendrix is sleeping with French hookers and Swedish heroin addicts. But he's on the run from the mob. He's on the run from um, the mob, the Italian mafia, and he's got money laundered but when the experience breaks up, the experience ain't shit without the two white boys, without uh, the three, Chaz Chandler, the producer from the Animals. I think he had something to do with it. Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell. Mitch Mitchell, the pulsified Hendrixian drummer. Did you ever see him on that live shit from Europe? You're like, yo, dude, do you play like that? It's one thing to have the blues and have the soul. You're damn right you got the pulsified look. He played them drums. He's my favorite drummer of all time. But when you seen him, he was ugly and mean. That's how he took your little daughter. The experience came on like spacemen. And Mitch Mitchell was fucking little white girls, at least in that pulsified way. Hendrix came out, put his dick in the 50-watt stack, threw his hands in the air, did a windmill. And Noel Redding played the shit out of that bass. But by the time the experience broke up, nobody wanted to touch it. It was a cancer. The Jimi Hendrix and the band of Gypsies, nobody wanted it. They got thrown off tour with the Monkees. The Monkees wouldn't have it. They're not even a real band because they couldn't get their shit together. By that time, Jimi Hendrix had a weird FBI interest in subversive groups in America, like the Black Panthers movement and shit like that. And Hendrix was distributing his wealth. He wanted to beat the. He had an Italian mafia lord who was eating up his monies and sending him on death tours to fulfill a death clause for the company. They were going to fry him like a beefsteak. And Hendrix tried to go back to Europe. He went back to escape the mob. And what they did to him is they waterboarded him and tortured him and killed him over a contract. But the band of Gypsies, nobody wanted to fuck with it. It was not the experience. It wasn't that psychedelia, that rock and roll animal that Hendrix was. It's better to burn out, and that's what he did.